On this episode of the Bobcat Sports Showcase, we'll take a look at Ohio football's coaching approach and a women's golfer making it big. A new season of the Bobcat Sports Showcase starts now. Welcome to another season of Ohio Athletics and a new season of the Bobcat Sports Showcase. I'm your new host, Abby Carnevale, and I'll be around all year talking Ohio athletics with you at home. First up is a story about how Bobcat athletes are taking family bonding to a whole new level. Next year, Ohio soccer Alexis Molesky's younger sister will be joining her on the field. For some athletes, being a part of the Bobcat family is a bit more close to home than others, especially when they have someone on the field with them they've known since day one.
On and off the field, these student athletes are not only teammates, each pair with their own unique story of how they came to play together once again in the wonderland of Athens, Ohio. Ty and Troy Black, or a brother duo, has been playing baseball, basketball, and football together since they were in high school. When the time came for Troy to look for a college to continue his passion of baseball, big brother Ty was behind him every step of the way.
I told him to go where he wanted to go, but I told him this is the greatest place in the world to be.
Yes, I had a big influence. He told me about what they do and the program was headed in the right direction, so I just thought I'd jump on board. I see him more as like a friend and a role model, so kind of a mentor, but he'll give me pointers and tell me what I'm doing wrong from here to there, but other than that, he's very supportive.
Troy knows he can rely on his older brother, and Ty understands how he can use their close relationship as a tool to increase the team's success.
I think family obviously comes first, but at the end of the day, we are on the same team and we are working towards the same goal, which is nice because we can push each other on a day-to-day basis.
But the only thing missing out on the field with them is a bit furrier.
It's good. The only thing missing now is my dog. If somehow we could get her onto the field, maybe in a uniform, a hat or something, get her a couple at bats, I think that's the only thing missing.
Since it may be difficult to get a paw in a baseball mitt, maybe she'll just stick to being a cheerleader on the sideline like co-captain Chase Worcester and his baby sister Nicole. They're the first brother-sister duo in Ohio cheerleading history.
They're really supportive of each other. It's funny because he's the older brother and he lives up to that role as far as he babies his sister. It's a really good relationship to see.
I mean, he's my best friend. Yeah, I love him to death, you know.
She is a nationally ranked athlete who has competed for 7 consecutive years at the cheerleading worlds. When the time came to choose a college, her eyes were set on the Big Ten, but she said she'd much rather stand in the shadow of her brother and best friend on the sidelines at Peden Stadium than chase the shadows of her peers.
Like you said, she's my best friend. She's actually been one of my role models growing up, and I know she's younger than me, but I've always looked up to her. And she's the whole reason I even got into cheerleading.
Years ago, Nikki asked Chase to take a tumbling class, and the two have been flipping together ever since, from Avon Lake all the way down to Peden Stadium, and the two couldn't be happier.
You step outside and you see all these people looking at you, your adrenaline's rushing, and you're ready to go, you're having a great time. It's one of the best experiences.
Some parents can only dream that their children will be together at one university, looking out for one another. These families are lucky enough to have 2 of their children not only at the same university, but also playing on the same team.
That was Bobcat Sports Showcase reporter Tasia Smith. Tasia, thanks for catching up with our families. Ohio football is back in season, and it's like the pigskin never left Peden. The Cats have started their season at 2-0 with a win against Idaho and Marshall, and the coaches have to be feeling good. But speaking of coaches, it sounds like the athletes got lucky in their addition to the coaching staff in 2013. Ohio football reporter Carly Bell talked to the Cats about their relationship with the cornerback and safeties coach Kenny Lucky and what it was like when he was added to the coaching staff as a freshman.
Down. You keep putting him down.
The motivational words of a coach. But it's rare in a college football program that a coach would be an undergraduate junior. Kenny Lucky, however, broke that mold.
I got this position right out of high school. We had 2 guys getting recruited, and we were all captains together. So that gave me an opportunity to introduce myself. Met defense coordinator, met Coach Solich,
and then I was on my way.
Kenny works specifically with the cornerbacks and safeties. Seniors Devin Bass and Ian Wells found a way to adapt when he entered the locker room.
I didn't really realize how young Kenny was when he first started off because, most of the guys are older, they're graduate assistants.
Playing football growing up, all my coaches have been older than me and stuff like that. But Kenny's kind of like a little brother. When he first came in, now I kind of respect him more as a coach.
And Kenny loves learning from these senior backs.
Listen first, talk second. I had to learn some things, from those guys. Because everybody have pretty much coaches older than me, and they've been doing this in this environment longer than me. And then after time, give suggestions, not so much yelling, not so much talking at someone, but more so, talking to someone.
As his time here continues to grow, I think people are starting to see him more in that light as a coach. And even though he is a younger guy, I think it's important that we respect him for what position he is in. You can see how his personality has changed from even last year to this year. So I feel like he's getting ahead of it, and he'll be fine.
Going into his third year here, he's a lot more professional about the way he comes out here, and he's a lot more energetic.
That energy is what makes Kenny so special.
He's eager to learn, and I think what he lacks in maturity, he definitely makes up in charisma.
The guys aren't, bouncing around and stuff like that. Kenny's always, probably him and Coach Dixon are the only voices you hear, trying to get everybody going.
Just try to practice what you preach. I'm a firm believer in that. You can't tell guys to hustle if you're not hustling.
Kenny has learned not only from the players, but from his role model as well.
Coach Burrow is a veteran in the game. He's been coaching for years, and he knows his stuff. And having the opportunity to learn from somebody that knows their stuff, now I'm starting to learn some stuff. Now I know some stuff. He's a great role model, good guy. Coach Burrow, that's my guy.
And he has some high aspirations.
I want to go all the way, I want to go to the highest level. I would love to, see Sundays, football on Sundays.
One thing's for sure, he's definitely made an impact on his players.
I'm going to miss him after this year. I don't think I can get used to not having him on the field.
I think in the next couple of years, as he climbs up the ladder, I think Kenny's going to have a great football mind on him.
Kenny Lucky may be a part of the on-field preparation, but there's even more going on behind the scenes. On a daily basis, Ohio football coaches and players spend hours dissecting game footage of themselves and their opponents to make sure they're ready for anything on Saturday. Ohio football reporter Sean Neidig has more on how the Cats take it from the film room to the locker room.
Everyone sees the plays on Saturday, but few understand the work the Ohio football team puts in when no one is in the stands.
And as a staff, we're up till about probably 11 o'clock, we're doing some type of film work. And then we'll take a break and script practice and then have a script meeting right after lunch. The film projectors are definitely getting used at this time of year for sure.
This is Daz Patterson's fourth year in the OU program, and he is still trying to find the time to get his mental reps in. And even with that much experience, he knows how vital film is to his performance.
Outside of practice, anytime I got, just some free time, getting into the bed at night or something like that, I try to, get a little bit of film. It's tremendously important to understand, the things that are going on the defense.
You can overdo it, but you can certainly underdo it if you're not careful. We don't put a number on them, but with today's social media, internet, Wi-Fi everywhere, it's for certain very accessible for those guys with our video system.
Patterson is now the senior player in the running backs room, and Albin has been his position coach for his entire career. Now, Albin relies on Patterson more than ever to help the younger guys in the film room.
He's a wily veteran. He definitely knows our offense inside and out, and he's very helpful with the younger guys. He's reliable, and I'm very, very happy to have him in my room. I'm glad that he's a Bobcat for sure.
Coaches and players spend hours each day going over plays, schemes, and techniques, and Albin knows that he has to do something to keep the players focused.
I don't know if they're tricks or not, but I'm a tongue-in-cheek guy. I got some music going in the background. So it's not because you're in there. You're in there we're in there from 6 in the morning to 9 at night. If we're not practicing, we're in there together. And so you got 6 guys in the same room, and it's a small room. and you're doing the same thing day after day after day, it can get monotonous.
No matter how tedious watching film is and how fun Albin tries to make it, at the end of the day, he knows how important it is on game day.
I think there's got to be some give and take. I got a few tricks up my sleeve, but all in all, it comes down to you want to have the best game plan you can have available, and there's a certain way you need to prepare to get that done. And being in that room all those hours is that's how it is, and so we all have to make it work.
Albin has his own little tricks, and there are rumors of players hopping on Madden to learn the plays. Patterson, though, doesn't buy it.
I don't play Madden. I don't really get into the video games very much, but a lot of guys do. They love the game. I don't know how much it is to learn the plays, but because obviously Madden doesn't have our plays on it. But I've heard that a lot of guys play Madden.
Women's golfer Haley Hrenowich had the opportunity to play alongside her twin brother over the summer. According to the USGA, Haley and Reed are believed to be the first brother-sister twins to qualify for both the U.S. Women's Amateur and the U.S. Amateur in the same year. Ohio golf reporter Duncan Goldberg caught up with Haley and her coach about how she used the opportunity to continue improving her game.
In August 2015, Ohio University's own Haley Hrenowich participated in one of the most prolific amateur tournaments in the world, the U.S. Women's Amateur Tournament in Portland, Oregon. Her time was short, but it will forever hold a lasting memory.
It was really fun, just because it was so serious there and all the girls there were like the best in the world, so just being around competition, that was so great. That was really a great experience. My favorite memory was how nice and everybody was there. Everybody really looked up to you, almost like you were a celebrity. It made me feel really cool, and all the different girls they're girls from France, England, just from everywhere. I think that was the best.
For Hrenowich, expectations were always high, even when she first arrived on campus.
I definitely knew she would make an impact right away. She's a quality player who's played on a national scale and extreme competitor. I knew she would want to be number one right from the beginning.
I was really excited for Haley to join the team. I knew she'd be a great contribution. She's really competitive, driven, and I think she pushes us all to do better.
The moment Haley officially qualified for the tournament was a great moment for everyone.
Oh, I was so happy. That was the one accomplishment I wanted this year, was to qualify. And I only had one 18-hole round to do it, and I shot 71, and I was really happy with it.
It was so exciting because I was following it online, so I'm on the computer following it, and just knowing that she's worked so hard this summer and made a lot of sacrifices, with activities and summer things that she could have done other than practicing, and she really made a point of trying to practice more because she knew it would be worth it.
It's a really good feeling, just because this summer especially, I think I worked harder than any other summer on my swing and everything, and I saw a lot of improvement, so that's a great feeling.
Hrenowich was excited not only to have the opportunity to represent herself, but also her fellow Bobcats.
That was the best part, because most of the people there were either from another country or they played on a certain country team, like Team Canada, or they were from a Big Ten school. So me being from a smaller MAC school and showing my Bobcat pride was really cool.
Hrenowich, a junior, has proved her worth for 2 years now. So what's to expect from her in the future?
Even this coming season, I know she's going to kill it and break some records. When she wants something, she goes out there and gets it.
Ohio volleyball isn't only killing it in the court, but also in the classroom. Over the summer, the squad earned a 3.6 GPA and are striving for a 3.5 in this fall semester. Leading that mission is new academic captain and junior Brooke Coleman. Ohio volleyball reporter Josh Gregory caught up with her and teammates to talk about the new position.
The Ohio University women's volleyball team is off to a great start this season. They hold a 7-3 record and have beaten strong teams like Kentucky and Xavier. But the success doesn't just come on the court, it comes in the classroom as well. Junior setter Brooke Coleman not only produces on the court, but leads the girls in balancing academics with volleyball as the program's first ever academic captain. Unfortunately, Coleman is out of the start of this season with a concussion, but last year she played in all 29 matches. In addition, she garnered several academic awards, including MAC Honor Roll, the Commissioner's Award, and Fall and Spring Dean's List distinctions. Coleman is no stranger in managing classwork and volleyball. She is double majoring in marketing and sports management and is still on track to graduate at the end of next year.
I think she's very, very driven. Obviously, every time I see her, we were just in the locker room and she's been on her computer doing homework. So any place, she has a book in her hand, computer open, she's getting things done on time, very proactive about things.
Proactive is a word Salas and Coleman both used to describe balancing classwork and athletics.
I do feel like they interfere. I think there's ways around it. So one is being proactive, knowing in advance if you're going to miss turning an assignment because you're on the road.
Having to miss classes for games can put any athlete in a stressful bind. In the first 4 weeks of the academic school year, some of the girls have only been able to go to class 5 times. Coleman's job is to help the team keep up with their workload and assignments. While Coleman has yet to see some playing time on the court this year, she has her work cut out for her off the court. Getting better as a team is something that head coach Dean Webb preaches to the girls.
But we always want to get better as a team, not just on the court, but in the classroom, in the community. We want to be growing and improving in all areas. And Brooke, it just seemed like the perfect time for the perfect person to do this.
But Webb is not the only one who thinks Coleman is up for the challenge. Her teammates think that she is more than capable for the position.
And she's very compassionate about what she does, and she puts the work in to do that.
And the team is getting work done. Over the summer, they had over a 3.6 GPA collectively. This is the highest GPA the team has had as far as records indicate. This position is especially crucial because of all the young faces on the team. Coleman says that it's her job to help guide the 6 freshmen on the team and help to relieve some of their stress with classes. She has set up a point system to help everyone keep up with schoolwork. The competition from this system drives the girls to do well in the classroom.
Because I know we're all competitive, and really we just find ways to find academics and make that competitive, because I think it'll really help them in the end.
Every year, teams lose players to graduation and injury. However, for Coach Aaron Rodgers and the Ohio soccer team, you have to earn your spot on the team, regardless of who you are. Ohio soccer reporter Clay Benjamin has more on how the team is faring this season with some playmakers and 8 new freshmen.
Whether it's injury or graduation, every team knows that players come and go. But for the Ohio soccer team, every spot on the team is up for grabs. Coming into this season, Coach Aaron Rodgers cut players from a year ago to make room for 8 freshmen, which is one of the biggest incoming classes in recent memory. For Coach Rodgers, there was only one reason for the cuts.
You know, we just basically, after the end of last season, we sat down with everybody and we just said, you know, we want to go forward with the people that are going to give every ounce of their energy to this program.
For Rodgers and the team, there is no bad blood with the cut players. Everyone is moving on and moving forward. Make way for the freshmen. 2 goalies, 3 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 1 forward. Third-year head coach Rodgers is beginning his makeover of the Ohio soccer program. Junior Alexis Molesky has only one word to describe the freshman performances through the first 7 games of the season.
I think they've done awesome. As a freshman coming in, it's like really nerve-wracking to kind of just step on the field and be expected to know what to do. So I think that, as I said, like Stephanie and Rihanna and even our goalkeepers have come in and just like done awesome.
Growing up playing youth and high school soccer is a whole different world compared to college soccer, and Rodgers is very happy with the growth of all the freshmen.
Well, I think they're doing well. You know, there's a huge transition from youth and high school soccer to college soccer. You know, no, I don't think anything can prepare them for the pace of the game, the physicality of the game. And, you know, and so that's basically what we talked to them about over and over. You've got to adjust to the pace, you've got to adjust to the physicality.
One of the freshmen that has been seeing a lot of time on the field is left back Brianna Reese. Reese has become a regular starter in the back 4, even though the Bobcats are off to a rough start this year. Through the first 6 games of the season, the freshmen have logged almost 1,800 minutes of play this season. It's been a birth by fire type of season for the Bobcats, and Molesky is using her experience to help lead this young team.
From the soccer pitch to the field hockey pitch, the Bobcat Sports Showcase has you covered. Reporter Matt Stevens joined Ohio Field Hockey on the field this week to learn a little bit more about their game, specifically about their equipment and shooting. Matt, what did you learn out there?
Thanks, Abby. I'm field hockey reporter Matt Stevens, joined on the pitch alongside sophomore Elena Curley, and she's going to show us a little bit today about shooting. Elena, do you want to show us first what you do to get in your stance for shooting?
Yeah, so my favorite shot is the drag flick, and we use it for some of our corners. So the most important thing about a drag flick is staying low and making sure by the end the ball is behind you. So you can use whatever footwork you want, as long as the ball is behind you and your momentum brings it forward.
So you want it underneath the little hook of the stick?
Yeah,
correct?
you want to start it either here, and it drags up and drags down. That's why I call it drag flick.
Okay.
So
all right.
you want to...
I'll try it out. Start here a little bit. Swing and a miss.
The important thing about the drag flick is there's no backspin.
Okay.
You kind of just go through it. So you start here, you address the ball, and then pick it up.
Okay. All right, well, I'll give it a go. So what's the difference between this and golfing? No backswing Nope.
still.
Keep doing the backswing.
Cool. Look at that.
It's a little better. I mean, I contacted the ball. So the stick is kind of like half of a cane, and it's a little bit different than a golf club. So what makes this a little bit different with field hockey?
The stick is like, it's curved on one side, so you can't use this side, it's flat on this side. So this is how you hit the ball with, and you can change where the ball goes depending on your stick angle. You want to pop the ball in the air with your head, you angle the stick up. If not, you want to keep it on the ground nice and flat, especially for passes, to make sure you get the post. Keep the stick at that angle.
Thanks, Elena. That's all we have time for today, but maybe next time I can make it into the goal. Back to you at Pete and Abby.
Our reporter Matt Stevens wasn't the only one with less experience than Ohio field hockey's upperclassmen at practice that day. 2/3 of their squad is made up of underclassmen, and our other field hockey reporter Patrick Klinger caught up with the young team and coach to see how they're faring.
Youth. That is perhaps the most accurate description of this year's Ohio field hockey team. With 12 of his 18 players being underclassmen, head coach Neil McMillan knows this season will be different than most.
It's interesting, it certainly is, because you're working with players who really have to learn the system as the season goes on. I think last year the group who are now sophomores did a very, very good job of that.
It was not long ago that those sophomores, like Rachel Coe and Maria Russell, stepped on the field as freshmen. Now they are the ones forced to grow up quickly and mentor the newcomers.
For the freshmen coming in, they look up to people like me and like Curly, and they kind of look for guidance as to like what to do. So I think it plays in a little bit in there, but in general we all just feed off of each other.
I think being a sophomore now, like I need to be more of a leader to the freshman field hockey forward players.
After graduating 5 Impact seniors in 2014, McMillan knows his young athletes will have some growing pains adjusting to the speed of the college game.
I think underclassmen are just excited to be on AstroTurf all the time. It's a big change coming from high school where they're either playing on field turf or grass. So you have a really, really quick learning curve with pretty much any freshman.
Coe is still making adjustments to her own game, constantly picking up new tricks from Bobcat veterans.
I think they're really inspirational, and they always push you on and off the field to be a better person. So especially during practice, like the whole team, we push each other, and like outside of practice, so in school and everywhere else, we all just talk to each other and communicate, and that really helps us grow.
Everyone knows hindsight is 20/20, and Russell is more than happy to dish out some advice she wishes she had.
Really just be confident on the field, because I felt like last year, not overwhelmed, but like just so new to everything that I took a little time to get used to.
Expecting big things from his team this season, McMillan has a lot of faith in the new weapons in his arsenal.
We've got a lot of speed in our freshman class. It's just the way that it's worked out, and our sophomore class. And so that really helps with the overall energy of the game that we're trying to play.
Ohio cross country's redshirt Kayla Scott is currently recovering from ACL surgery while maintaining her title as captain. Ohio cross country reporter Mackenzie Pyatt tells us more on how Scott is still leading the team.
Track and cross country captain Kayla Scott is recovering from ACL surgery over the summer after she fell during a 3,000-meter steeplechase back in April.
It was heartbreaking. It was a big trial in my life that I had to deal with. So it was hard at first. There was a lot of tears, a lot of sadness, and asking why it had to happen to me, but everything happens for a reason, I believe, and it's made me a stronger person because of it. It's made me a stronger leader because of it, because I can handle trials like that with support of other people.
Kayla has been cleared to do strength and conditioning workouts with the team. Assistant coach Tim Sykes hopes she can progress further and be ready to compete in the upcoming indoor and spring track seasons.
So she's joining our team now in the weight room, which she's super excited about, because she's sore for the first time since last April when the ACL injury happened. And so she's cleared to do strength and conditioning. She's also cleared to do stationary bike and aqua jogging.
Kayla says the support from her teammates has helped make the healing process a little easier.
And when I came to school, I knew it was going to be hard too, but I felt really welcomed by their support, that even though they know that I'm not going to be out on runs with them for a while, that they're still going to come back to me and support me in my struggle and ask me how I'm doing. And they mean more to me than running does, so I have to look at it that way.
She's one of the most talented young ladies, and not just talented, but work ethic and attitude-wise that I've ever worked with, and I've been doing this for about 10 years. So, you know, the sky's the limit for somebody like her, and she's very determined.
And just like that, we're all out of time. Don't worry though, Bobcat fans, we'll be back on your screens real soon. In the meantime, follow along with all Ohio athletics news on Facebook by liking our page or giving us a follow on Twitter at Bobcat Showcase. For the rest of the Showcase crew, I'm Abby Carnevale. We'll see you again on October 16th at 11 p.m. right here on WOUB. Until then, don't forget to fight for the green and white.